the 80s called. They want their bike back.
Turbo single. 60. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 1983 Yamaha XJ650 Turbo restoration. In this video, I'm actually going to be restoring this bike, unlike the last one where I just wallowed around in all of this bike's problems and didn't really actually fix anything. Today, we are repainting this bike. And before you say, no, Gold Guy, how dare you repaint over that perfect yellow paint job? For one, it's not perfect. There's actually a lot of problems with this yellow paint job. For two, I am 1% sad about repainting over this yellow. The yellow actually kind of grew on me. It's a good shade of yellow, but it grew on me like how a tumor would, not like how bigger muscles or a larger penis. Yeah, not good. This yellow's got to go. Enough jokes. I'm trying to make this bike as original as possible, and to do that, I'm using this paint I found, which is as close to the original paint color I can find. I've tried a ton of different silver paints, and this one is the closest I can find on the market. I'm sure I could get something custom made, but that'd be really expensive, and this 4 cans of spray paint cost me only about $25, so you really can't beat that. Yamaha never released the paint code for this bike, so no one actually knows what color paint it is. It's just like a dark silver gray color. So we've got the complete decal kit in this box. I'm definitely not ready to install the decals just yet, but I still want to open them up to see which ones are included and what they look like. Let's open these up a bit more, take a look. Looks like we've got all the stripes, those look correct. And then there's 2 different turbo emblems. Not sure where those are meant to go. And there's these pieces. I think I know where those go. So yeah, that's about it. Everything looks good. It says this decal must be clear coated. Please consult a professional painter. No. This wouldn't be the windshield one. That's the one I'm missing, I guess. And we've got a lot of work to do. Let's start disassembling this bike. I'm going to pull everything off, all these plastics, all the fairings, the front fender. Stuff that I've never had off this bike. So this should be fun. Let's get right into it. We're pulling off the seats, pulling off this big thing. So that's going to make it a lot easier to repaint this bike. And that's all the easy stuff. Now I actually have to start moving some bolts. Now it's supposed to just pull off of there. I don't want to break anything. There we go. That was pretty easy. Go ahead and pull these off. Set them aside. Set. I might have just broken this one though. Dang it. I should have taken that bolt out ahead of time. It just snapped through. I mean, that was very brittle. There was like nothing left there. I'll have to do a little patch work there. But we got it. I've never seen the front of this engine. It actually looks pretty clean. We're also going to be pulling off the exhaust pipes and painting them in this video because they are horribly rusted. then we can pull out this middle piece here. There we go, we've got that middle piece. Side panel separated. And for this big gas tank shroud, there are 4 bolts holding it together on the top and then 4 screws on the bottom. And there we go. Looks like there's 4 12mm bolts on the inside. Okay, that should be it. There we go. Front fender's removed. A lot of road grime under there, but other than that, looks pretty good. The plastic is definitely cracked though, but I probably should try to repair this. Now we have nothing left but this big monstrosity here. One screw holding this on, and a couple hooks, but one of them snapped off, of course. Can't do it. Buggers off. And there we go, that's the turn signal assembly. Now we can see we've got 2 bolt heads holding on this side piece. It's getting real loose. I don't know what else is holding this. This thing is just cobbled together, guys. Looks like we're gonna have to disconnect the turn signal for now at least, just to get it out of the way. We can also see our windshield here is held on by 2 flathead screws on each side, I think. And that's good because we gotta fix this windshield anyway, so that'll be probably its own video though. Oh man, this is just looking better and better the deeper I get into it. So we've got 1 bolt, I think, just 1 bolt. Yep, that was it. There we go. There's just 1 yellow piece left, this little oil cooler shroud thing. Gotta pull that off. Alright. Last piece. Man, this bike sure looks weird without all the plastics on it. These air scoops on the front shroud had 1 screw, and then on the top, for whatever reason, has a rivet. So I'm gonna have to drill the rivet out to get this piece off. And I'm also going to remove this little storage compartment here. And there's also this reflector here that looks like it's held on with a nut on the back, so we can remove that as well. Basically anything that I don't want to get paint on. Okay, now we're left with just the bare cowl piece. It's gonna be super easy to paint it like this. And it's crazy, the previous person who painted this yellow actually did a really good professional job. This little metal clip, I guess that's just to hold the 2 pieces in line. There's this metal bracket here. Removing this would make... I'm going to try to get this off the dumb but easy way with a flathead screwdriver. There we go. Got it off in 1 piece. It's missing a screw. Time to wash all of these parts with some dish soap, a brush, water, and some of this good old elbow grease. Here we go. Half an hour later, and this water is looking pretty dang dirty. But all of these parts are looking super clean. From a distance you might be like, wow, that yellow is perfect. But again, there's a lot of cracked pieces which I'm gonna have to repair, chips, and Now it's time to prep all these yellow parts for paint. Since this one is pretty rough around the edges, I'm starting out with 320 grit sandpaper for this piece. For all the other ones where the paint's pristine, I'm using 400 grit. That smoothed out pretty good. I'm going to finish the job with 400 grit. This one is just about ready to go. I'm just going to give it a quick pass with some 600 grit sandpaper, just to really make sure it's nice and smooth and ready for paint. And this one is going to be a wet sand. So I'm going to wet the sandpaper down first. This will help to keep it nice and clean. Looks like this bike was actually red at one point. Interesting. Now this piece is fully prepped. I'm going to hose it off and it'll be ready for paint. I'm going to do this exact same procedure on all of these yellow pieces. I'm going to use some super glue to fix these cracks. This is plastic. I've had a lot of luck with super glue on this type of plastic in the past, so I'm going to stick with what I know. Now I'm going to use some JB Weld as a body filler in this rigid plastic because it'll stick good, it'll hold everything together, it'll sand easily, and it's easy to paint. Old JB's looking a little blacker than I remember, so I'm going to add some more white into the mix. These are some very strong black jeans here. Okay, that'll have to do. Let's hit these spots. Here's a big one. This crack in the fender. I'm also going to feather some into the areas that I sanded the paint off of, so everything's nice and even. As for this side that I broke the hole on, I'm going to just JB Weld a washer in there and call it good. Really not holding much. That'll sand up just fine. Spots that I JB welded are going to need a coating of primer because the JB Weld absorbs paint more than this existing paint would, and you can see it after the finish coat. So we're going to clean it off with some denatured alcohol and then hit these spots with some primer. Going to use some of this Rust-Oleum automotive primer for this. Okay, I've got all of these body panels hanging up. They're cleaned off with denatured alcohol and dry, and it's time to paint them using this Krylon Fusion metallic aluminum spray paint, and then I'm going to be clear coating it with the Rust-Oleum Gloss Clear engine enamel because this stuff is chemical resistant and you don't need to bake it or anything. It's chemical resistant right out of the can. Respirator here is very important because I'm closing the shed doors with a heater on because it's starting to get cold outside. I put the first coat on all this stuff. We gotta wait a few minutes and then we'll do a second coat. It went on pretty thin, doesn't look that good now. Hopefully a second coat helps a lot. Well, I only got one can left, and I know for sure that's not going to be enough, so it looks like we're not finishing this tonight. And we still definitely need another good solid coat on all these pieces, so I guess I'm going to get 5 more cans just to be safe. Well, I ran out of paint the other night. I was having a ton of trouble painting all these parts hanging up like this. I was just bumping into them and it was just too tight in here and I had a lot of problems. So I'm going to be painting each piece on the floor on top of this cardboard, and as I finish painting it, I'll hang it back up to dry. So this is going to be a lot better this way, I think. Let's get this painting done. 4 more cans of paint here. We'll do 1 light coat and then 1 finish coat, because I've already put like 2 coats on. Here we go. Okay, we'll give that a minute to flash on and then do 1 heavier finish coat. Okay, it's been a minute, 1 more coat. Been about 5 minutes. This is pretty much dry to the touch. We're going to hit it with some Rust-Oleum Engine Enamel Gloss Clear. Some pieces, it's definitely easier to paint on the ground, like these mostly flat ones. But little pieces like this are easier to paint hanging up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this one hanging up. Have to paint the backs of these, but I just don't want anyone ever to know that this bike was yellow. Just enough paint to finish these last 3 parts. Now we're good to go. We just gotta wait a little and then clear coat. Thank you, John Deere, for lighting up my shed because I don't have any lights installed in it. Well guys, all of the painting is done and that's going to be it for this episode. We painted all of the plastic fairing panels, the fender, all that stuff just in time for winter. And I'm so glad I finally got this project done, but I'm going to have to end the video here guys, and we'll reassemble it maybe 2 videos from now because we have a lot of mechanical problems I need to fix. I think that'll be the next video. And then we'll finally do a reassembly. Man, I am just getting really excited to see this bike all put back together in its original form, not yellow anymore. Maybe once I remove the yellow paint from this bike, it'll actually lift the lemon curse that some of you guys commented about in the previous video. Kind of getting blinded from looking at this light, so hit that subscribe button if you want to stay in the loop with this project and many more projects to come. Comment down below what you think of this silver. I think the color is a perfect match. I'm really happy with how that came out. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Peace out.